Hello, very good morning. Welcome to JS Testing Academy. Welcome to the next part of video in the core Java for automation series. Okay, so in the last video we saw about abstraction, hiding implementation details, and we saw abstract class and interface. What's the difference between abstract class and interface? In this video, we are going to see right the very important concept, that is constructors. Okay, so normally in write the automation code or the automation framework, we use write constructors. For example, if you are creating a page class with page object model, we used to write create a constructor and initialize all the web elements. Okay, so the constructor right is very important right in learning Java. Okay, while learning Java. Okay, so let's understand what is a constructor and what is a use. Okay, so now let me create a new class. Okay, so the right, first we'll understand what is a constructor. Constructor is a special method that is called when an object is created. Right, when an object is created, right, a special method is called that is called as an constructor. Okay, constructor is used to initialize the object. Okay, so with the help of constructor we can initialize the object. Okay, so constructor name, there are some rules where constructor name should be same as the class name. Class name and constructor method, right, both should be same. Okay, and constructor does not have any return type. Okay, so there are two types of constructor. One is a default constructor and next one is a parameterized constructor. A default constructor, it automatically is created by the right JVM. Okay, so the no arguments are automatically provided by Java. Okay, and parameterized constructor, where it is right accepts arguments in it. Okay, to initialize the values right during the object creation. While object creation we can initialize some values, right, it accepts as an argument. Okay, so there are two things. Okay, so one is a default constructor and next one is a parameterized constructor. Default constructor, by default the constructor is called as an default constructor. Okay, let us create one example. Okay, uh, class, right, car. Okay, so I'll create one example, right, car, and I'll include the public static void main also. Okay, let me write differentiate default constructor. So this code, I am just pushing everything in GitHub. Okay, you can access this GitHub link right in our site. Okay, if you go to our site, right, so in the lifetime access membership, right, you can access one time and you can use all the courses. I have added all the courses here, you can access it. And I'm going to add the GitHub link also. I already pushed the code, I'll push the latest code right finally, and I'll add the GitHub link. Same thing, you'll get a GitHub link, you can access it. Okay, so right, like this you'll get the Java code, the complete entire project, you'll get it shortly. You can if you want this code, if you feel this is useful, you can access from there. Okay, let's go. Right, a default constructor. Okay, so I told, right, right, constructor is same, the constructor method is same like the class name. What is the class name here? It's a car. Okay, so I'll creating a method called as car. Okay, so this is called as an right constructor, where it has the same name like the class name. Okay, so by default this is a default constructor. Okay, so Java creates as a default constructor. Okay, so now let me print it. Okay, a car running. Okay, so if I want to write use this, I need to create an object. Okay, and constructor is called when an object is been created. When we create an object, this default constructor is called. Okay, so car, okay, c equal to, while doing this, and the constructor is called. Okay, so car, Okay, let me write. Sorry, no need of method. Right, I did a mistake. Okay, so now right by here, right, this is a default constructor. When we create an object, this default constructor is been called. Okay, so now right, if I give c dot, okay, if I want to call any method, I can use it. Okay, so this is how we can write create a constructor and use the constructor, so write in our normal Java code. Okay, so I can this is called as a default constructor. If I want, there is another constructor, two types I told, right? Default constructor and a parameterized constructor. Default constructor will not have any arguments. Okay, if you give if you just mention it is a constructor or not, Java will automatically consider this as an constructor. Okay, so now let's go for a parameterized constructor example. Okay, so let me create a new class. Okay, and the class name I will name it as an same like in car, right? I will give car one. Okay, and I'll again include public static void main method. Okay, let me there we saw an default constructor. Here we'll see an parameterized constructor. For that we need to pass an argument. For that I'll create two variables for passing that. Okay, next one is model and integer. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to create a constructor, parameterized constructor, where it has an argument. Okay, same thing, car1 is same like in class name, so it's an right constructor, but here it is a parameterized constructor since it has an argument. There it does not have arguments here, but here it has an arguments, so that's why it's called as an right right parameterized constructor. Okay, so now right, you can see, we can see, right, and I'm going to use this to mention it as an current class method. Okay, so this model, you'll see this in the coming videos detailedly. Okay, but here it tells reference to the current class object, right? This dot year equal to year. Okay, so now as I told you, since we have an argument, it's called as an parameterized constructor. Okay, now I'll create another method, public void display. Okay, I'll display model. Okay, and I'll give an year. Okay, now what I'll do is, right, I'll call this method by creating an object. Okay, as I told you, this constructor will be called when we create an object. Okay, car c1 equal to new car. Okay, and we need to pass arguments, right? For example, Toyota. Okay, and write some 2025. Okay, so like that, right, we need to right pass the arguments right in the constructor. Okay, so no need of giving a double quotes, so it's an integer. Okay, now write argument here. Okay, now I'll call this method c1 dot display. Okay, let me run it. Okay, Toyota 2025. Okay, so this is how, right, we can write create constructor and use it in our Java program. Okay, for the example, there are two constructors as I told you. This is a default constructor and this one is an parameterized, right, constructor. Okay, I'll give this. Okay, there might be a question asked, right? Where you'll use, right, your automation constructor in your automation. Okay, for that I'll show an example. Okay, let me go to the previous project. Okay, one. See here, right? In the this is an APM automation, mobile automation, where I have a class name. Okay, then I have a method name same like a class name, so this is called as an constructor. Okay, this I've used in the page class in the during a page object model design pattern. So here I have created one class and here I created a method. Okay, so this is called as an constructor. So it's not having any arguments here, so it's called as an default constructor here. Okay, so like that we can use constructor in our automation world. Okay, there might be another question asked, right? I have seen in some interviews where whether constructor can be overloaded. Okay, there might be one question, right? Whether constructor can be overloaded, the answer is yes, the constructor can be overloaded. So what is overloading? Same name, a method which is having the same name with different parameters, so that is called as an right, overloading. Okay, let me create a new class here. Let's understand this also. Okay, student. I include public static void main. Okay, I will write create two variables, string name. Okay, int age. Okay, first, right, I'll create a default constructor student name equal to Joshi and age is 42. Okay, so now, right, I will create a, sorry, okay, so this is a right, one constructor. So now the question is, whether the constructor can be overloaded. So let me create another constructor. Let me pass, right, age equal to 42. Okay, so like that we can pass it. I'll create another constructor. Okay, so now, right, we have created, right, three constructors here with different arguments. First one is, right, default constructor. Next one is a parameterized constructor with one argument, and next one is another parameterized constructor with two arguments. So this is called as constructor overloading. Okay, yes, it can be achieved by Java. This is a very standard question which is asked in interviews. Okay, so hope you understood, hope this video is useful for you. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Meet you soon in the next part of video. Bye.